this episode of Beyond the Seabag, we're going to talk about heaters, mainly from the perspective of portable heaters, because what I do when I go out of town, and this is pretty much only in my van, when I use my van as a bug out vehicle to go somewhere, you always want to have heat. You don't have to, but it's a lot nicer. Like I said, from the very beginning, I like things to be comfortable. I don't like things to be, if you don't have to rough it out or whatever, don't fucking rough it out, man. Be comfortable if you can be. So if you're bugging out and you have the stuff already prepared, then, you should be good. One of the ones that I use that I'm going to explain, this is kind of like a product. It's not a product, placement, or I'm trying to sell nothing or whatever. I'm just telling you what I use. So, and this one has been, I've used a couple different heaters. I remember the first time I was going to go out of town in the van and whatever, and one of the guys in the club gave me this really old, I think it was a Coleman, right? And they're all propane type driven. And, I remember sitting at the bar trying to get this thing running, popping, all of a sudden freaking got this big, huge freaking flash of fire in my face. And I think it singed some of my eyebrows, and he's like, "Here, you can use this one." I'm like, "Dude, man, this almost fucking killed me, man." I said, "I don't know if I want to put this in my car and light it up in my car and fall asleep." So I started looking around at heaters, because what I used a lot, my family used a lot as a kid, was we had a lot of those, what were they, kerosene lanterns, and they gave off some serious heat. I remember burning my fingertips on those damn things. They give off some good heat, but man, you have that shit in your car, you're going to be engulfed in flames before you fucking know it. So no, thank you. So the one that I'm going to bring up in this episode is, this is a Mr. Buddy heater. It's all propane ceramic. Right here is the ceramic, I guess they're called ceramic tiles, I don't know. But we have the attachment here. It can take those little propane things that you find at Walmart or whatever, those little things. Those last usually on high. I think I've had it on high or low, I can't remember. And if you have it on low, it'll pretty much last the night. Might use 1.5, then you're waking up. You can also move this out to maybe get those extended propane canisters that you use on the torches and stuff like that. The same hookup. So you can put that in there. And then I got this. This is a hose. I think it's like a 10-foot or something like that. I'll hook this to the Mr. Buddy, and then I'll hook this to one of those big propane canisters that you put on your grill. I don't know how many pounds or how much propane it holds, but it's the ones you put on your grill. So that's a little better. And this thing, I can put this thing up on top of my roof of my vehicle, run this in through the window, and run the heater right inside. And it kind of looks like, it depends on where you are, because I've run this in. I'm looking at the van like there's a hose going in through a crack window, and I got a blanket and everything, and all the windows are blacked out. You get people going, "Is everything?" They think you committed suicide or some stupid shit like that. It does look suspect though, with the tube running in your window. That's what I thought was funny about it, but guess it's not funny to other people. Who gives a fuck, right? But it works, keeps you warm. So be a short episode, but I like to do product stuff, product placement. It's not really product placements, because again, I don't get no money, and I'm not hired by any company to do a review or anything like that. So I just shit that I use that's kept me warm, safe, and fed and everything, all the stuff I use. So, because I know you guys are out there, you do the same kind of stuff like this. A lot of vets do this shit. And like I said right from the beginning, this shit can get ridiculous. I've bought some shit. I'll have some reviews on some of this shit. Maybe I'll do one of these reviews. I got a grappling hook. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with the grappling hook? But it was pretty cool. But, you start going into the rabbit holes that I talked about right from the beginning that you could get into. And I wish there was, when I was doing this, that there was somebody that told you real shit. You can tell the reviews that are full of shit, and they haven't even, because they're the same, right? You get a whole bunch of guys doing reviews, and they're exactly the same. They were saying the same shit. They're basically copying off of each other, I guess, or whatever. No one's really used this shit. Full of shit, man. You got a review on, 15 different, mouse, whatever you want to fucking call it, 15 different ones, and you're going to fucking review every one. You're full of shit, man. Because why you got 15 guys reviewing the same things and all the reviews are the same? I'm not doing that. I've used this shit, and you can see all the. I don't know if you can see all the scratches, and that's from my wrench freaking tightening these things down because I didn't want it to leak or whatever. I use this shit. It warms up a garage pretty nicely too. I'll work on my bike in the garage, and might want to get a bigger one for out there because I don't like being cold. Hate it. Why the fuck do I live in Buffalo, right? So, yeah, that's what's going to be on heater. So, all right, let's go. All right, so I showed you the heater that I use, the Mr. Buddy heater. It's a good heater for heating a van. I am looking into, I don't have it for this episode. I'm going to do another episode. I am going to look into the diesel heaters because I've been hearing a lot about those. I've seen them used. One of the brothers in my club that does a lot of off-grid type stuff, he had a diesel heater, and some of these things I was like, is that really practical, for a van? And I've seen some of the models that they're using. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that because I haven't used them at all. So, but apparently they all require starting voltage to run the Bluetooth stuff and all the high-end stuff. And what he had was a 110 solar into I think it was 12 volts, 24 volts. I'm not sure. DC, but that seemed like a pretty cool off-grid type thing. And he was heating his whole garage with it, which is, I'm starting to think now, it's like, all right, well, I'm out there working on the bikes. I got the Mr. Buddy heater's good, but you have to be next to it. It's not going to heat the whole garage. That ain't happening unless you get a bigger model. So I kind of want to be self-sufficient out here in Buffalo. Electricity goes down all the time, and now you can't run your heater, and you're pretty much fucked, right? Especially if it goes off for long periods of time during the winter and the summer. Who gives a shit, right? Well, you got to worry about your refrigeration and stuff, but you'll have a whole refrigerator go bad or whatever. So that's happened before, but it ain't going to kill you. So having a heater like that is a pretty good idea. I mean, you can get backup generators too, I guess. So you're going to go on that. Like I said, with some of the stuff, you can go down the rabbit hole and really homestead your house, and people do that all the time. I think it's a great idea, but again, you're going down a lot of rabbit holes too. We spend a lot of money, and I don't like spending a lot of money. I'd like to do stuff on my own. I guess you call it DIY, whatever. I hate that term. It's stupid. Doing this shit on your own, seeing if you can do it, like that's part of it. But I like things that I can use for multiple purposes. So, right. So if you have a home generator, well, okay, great. What about your garage? What about your car? What about if you got to bug out or whatever? I like things that have multiple purposes and you can take with you and bug out with them or whatever in a van or something. So heaters are a great idea. Like I said, with the propane stuff, you can find propane just about anywhere, even if shit hits the fan type deal. These things are on people's grills. Find them in any Walmarts or Targets or whatever those kind of stores are around you. Those little canisters about like that big, they're like green. Plus, you have the Home Depot type stuff with the longer canisters for using for like torches and stuff like that. Same idea. You can get the propane ones. I know they have propane, they have MAP gas, and then they have I think it's oxygen. The yellow ones are oxygen, I believe. But anyway, using stuff like that, I'm going to check in the diesel stuff because now once you're using the diesel stuff, not only does diesel last freaking a long time, but you can also make biodiesel, and I've been looking into that, and I'd like to do a episode maybe on heaters part 2 using diesel and also making your own diesel from cooking oil. And I'm not going to really comment on that because I don't know enough about it. Never had a diesel car, so that was kind of where my thinking was about doing biodiesel a long time ago. Why the fuck would I need biodiesel? I don't have a diesel car. Well, then I'm like seeing these heaters come out, and I've felt the air that comes out of them, and it's pretty decent. It's warm, dry air. So, and apparently you can use it in your van. You do have to have exhaust for sure with that. The downside with the propane ones is you also have the vent. There is no exhaust on them, so it's just a buildup of carbon monoxide. So that's why I always keep the window crapped up about like that. And I think I only do it on like the driver's side. I'll keep it cracked like about that to run that hose, this thing. So I'll use enough to get that cracked and up onto the van top where I have the larger thing of propane. Now, if I'm using smaller ones, I'll just keep cracked anyway like that. I don't know if that's enough. I haven't died yet from it, so I guess it's enough, right? Never having woke up with headaches or nothing like that. So, yeah, don't don't trial and error shit like that. I mean, I'm fucking stupid when it comes to that sometimes, but I haven't died yet. So obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna do some episodes on diesel heaters, and I gave my recommendations for immediate use, the Mr. Buddy heater. So those are good heaters. Hopefully I got a little bit out of this. I know this is a short episode, but some weeks I don't have a lot to say. So, but I think doing some research on those diesel heaters should be pretty cool. So I guess this is an introduction into diesel heaters, right? For not next time, but I'll pick up one. I'm doing the research right now to find out what are the best ones to get. I'm gonna do a couple comparisons, look around. Again, I'm not gonna put something on here if I buy some and I think it's a piece of shit. I ain't gonna put it on here. I'll tell you about it. But these heaters, the diesel heaters, are pretty cheap, so I should be able to pull off, one or two or whatever, less than $200 for sure. I've seen a couple a little bit above $100. I've seen some below $100, so that's not bad. So I want to get one for my garage for sure. Put one out there and see how it works, and then do the biodiesel along with that. So it's kind of a two-pronged thing. So stay tuned. All right. Thanks for watching.